What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Um, this will just be a review. This won't include like the DLC, Dragon Ball Super DLC stories. This will just be for the main game itself. But first things first, you can hit that like, subscribe, and share, and the notification button, and also leave a comment down below what you thought. If you played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, what you thought of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, do it match my thoughts? Or do it, you have your own thoughts? Do you want to let me know what you thought or what you thought of the game? Overall, did you enjoy the game? Did you not enjoy the game? What did you like or didn't like? Let me know in the comments down below. With all that being said, do all those great things because it will help the channel grow, it helps me grow, and it helps to get this pretty little face out there to the YouTube masses. With that being said, let's get into it, right? So, for those who don't know, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a semi-open world action role-playing game developed by CyberConnect 2 and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Basically, usually Bandai is the one who makes the Dragon Ball Z games and stuff, but this game was actually developed by was made by another developer, but published by Bandai Namco Entertainment, and it was based on the Dragon Ball, of course, franchise released for, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and this is what I'm reviewing it for the Xbox One version, and yeah. So basically, to give you a summarize, the game follows as it entitles Kakarot. It follows Goku and the other Z fighters. And it's a role playing game and a fighting game all in one. So it's an RPG and a fighting game, and it's like the first RPG. I think I want to say the first RPG game to be just solely based about the main characters. I know Dragon Ball and Xenoverse, and then Xenoverse 2 was a role playing game too in itself. But this one, it was more about the main character instead of you creating a character. It's basically had the same principles. You upgrade Goku and the others, and you play throughout the sagas. The main games you play. The main thing you do in the saga, in the main game, is you play the Saiyan saga, the Planet Namek / Ginyu Force saga. Somewhat, I'll get into more on that when I get into the review part, and the Frieza saga, the Android. The Future Trunks / Android 17, 17, and the Future Trunks / Android saga. Then you got the Cell games. Then you go to the Majin Buu saga, and that's like the end of the game. Once you complete the Majin Buu saga, that's the end of the main game. With all that being said, the playable characters that you get to play as is Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, in both kid, teen, and adult. You get to play as Future Trunks, Gotenks, and Vegito. And I think it is moments where you have to control Goten, but it's not really like a whole section where you could just go and fight people with them. You could go you could go do side missions with them. So you could technically be Goten and go do side missions, but the main thing is you basically them doing only for like a brief period before the start of the tournament that leads into the Majin Buu saga. And then as expected, like the boss, your side characters you can have accompanying you are Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu, Android 18, Goten, and Kid Trunks. The bosses are of course, Rad Snapper, Vegeta, Dodoria, all the guys you would expect. So, with that being said, let's get to the review. Now I set it up, because this is not going to be it's going to be a semi-long video. I don't know. We'll see, because it's a lot to talk about, it's a lot to unpack. First things first, after playing the whole game, the base, main story game without the DLC, the whole thing about it is that it's, for me, I grew up, most like everybody, you watch Dragon Ball Z, you watch anime, you grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I mean, for me at least, that was my introduction into anime. That's what got me to love not only just cartoons but anime too. Like because anime was like it had a whole different set. It was like it was cartoons but on a whole different level. You know, there were deeper stories, power ups, depths, and revives. You know, it was stuff that made me. I thought was cool. You know, and then especially watching Dragon Ball Z, I wanted to be because you really never saw it on there, a black Super Saiyan. So I wanted to be, Super Saiyan. I tried to go Super Saiyan. I was a dumb kid. One thing I could go Super Saiyan too is I just yell and try to power up, But that's how much I hold Dragon Ball Z to my heart, and this brings me to my first. I would say my first negative is that my one negative is that is something that it can't be helped. But it's the fact that even though this says Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, it felt like it was more like Dragon Ball Z Kai, Kakarot. It wasn't Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It felt like it was Dragon Ball Z Kai. And what I mean by that is, you ever seen the regular version that that everybody's seen, Toonami and all that type of stuff. You would understand there's a difference between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z Kai. Kai is like a retelling of Dragon Ball Z, but with different people, like with different dialogue, maybe some new voice actors, different dialogue, different ways it was set in different music. And it's obvious that this game takes heavily from Dragon Ball Z Kai, but they sneak in some lines from the original Dragon Ball Z. Like we don't I don't expect them to do every scene, but I expect them to get some of the more iconic moments of there, and some iconic moments was actually missed. The one like the Saiyan Saga. Let's take the Saiyan Saga for example. It was so many moments in the Saiyan Saga that was missed, and that it was stuff that was done. That was just done. That wasn't like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like wasn't done like it should have been done. Like the whole line about when Goku comes back and he fights Nappa and Vegeta. Like the beginning part, they mostly had the beginning part itself for Goku having this mind battle with Piccolo. Obviously they need to add more stuff in there to make the game long, but that part I don't have a problem with. Of course, a video game has to have something. You can't just have, is everything that you saw on the show doesn't really translate well to video game, even though it can if you try, but it's hard to make things like that, so you have to add things in to fill stuff in. But I do appreciate the fact that they add fillers to the game, but the whole thing was that you missed the whole, it's over 9,000. That was a big part of, Dragon Ball Z. And that point, that was like one of the famous lines, and he doesn't even say it. Goku powers up. He doesn't even talk about the fact that he trained the art of Kaioken. He's not over 9,000. You missed that whole scene, but they do just play up the fact that he's strong and that. And that Nappa should just hurt. They just jump to the part where Vegeta's like, hurry up and kill the others before they rejoin with Kakarot. They don't really, and then they don't have nothing mentioned about the 9,000, how high his power level is. But you don't miss it with Captain Ginyu. But I'm jumping the gun. But yeah, other than it's like, and then the moments where Gohan transformed into a great ape, I felt like it was rushed because the whole build up when you turn to a great ape is how they said they go they convulsion, their chest is pumping, and they start getting you see it slowly. They slowly start getting hairy and muscular and big, and then you see them grow. Now, granted, we can't have, it's a kids, game that kids can play, so we can't have them when they transform back, them to be butt naked. So I give them that when Gohan goes back to normal, he got his pants on. That I could, I give you that. But the fact that you diminish what the transformation was is kind of upsetting. They felt like they rushed it because when Gohan gets ready to transfer to a grade 8, or Vegeta get ready to transfer to a grade 8, it's just like a flash of light, and all of a sudden now they do go, sometimes they do go to do the how their chest is pumping and they breathing hard, but then all of a sudden it's a flash of light and now they grade 8, where you don't show the coolness of them slowly transforming to the grade 8. You just rush it into the grade 8. Some of the things felt rushed. Another negative for the whole thing that I'm just gonna get out the way right now for the whole game is the upgrading part. The upgrading of your characters matters, but it doesn't matter too much. Like the whole making dishes and doing making dishes, getting the food and stuff. Maybe I was doing it wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. I probably was doing it wrong, but it felt like it was unnecessary because it didn't really help me much. It didn't really help in the fights against stronger characters. It didn't really give me a buff or anything that I noticed differently. It did give me a different enough buff. Then the stuff that you could upgrade, just it didn't make sense to upgrade. It just the upgrading. That's a big negative for me. The upgrading is an open world, but the upgrading was kind of flawed throughout the whole game. The upgrading was kind of flawed. And I understand that this is Kai, so they're gonna take the Kai music and stuff. Cause like I said, this is more Dragon Ball Z Kai than just Dragon Ball Z. Even though the title just says Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, it's more Dragon Ball Z Kai, and they have the Kai music and the Kai dialogue. And some of the dialogue was like, it was lame to me. Like at certain times, even when I was playing the game, I felt just I didn't really enjoy the game as much, just because I have my iconic dialogues, like in the Boo Saga. You got Vegeta's whole explanation. They skipped Vegeta's whole explanation for why he became Majin, and instead of doing that, so instead of showing that you just diminish it, you just rush through that. It's just like he became Majin. He wanted to fight Kakarot, but it was a whole big explanation on why he wanted to do it. But you didn't give me that. You did give me the fact that he said he wants to fight Kakarot, but we already knew that. We knew that before he became Majin that he wanted to fight Goku badly. But you didn't give us the explanation on why he allowed himself to be controlled. Why he did that. And that was the whole big point of that section was why he did it. Why he wanted to go back to be the evil prince. Then some of the iconic moments on the planet Namek with Frieza and stuff was cut. And I get it. Some things you can't add in there, like the whole Guardian Jr. You remember at one point after the Frieza, I was hoping that the one intermission that I wanted to do was the intermission where everybody gets brainwashed and controlled by Guardian Jr. and Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin have to go save the day. Yet we didn't get that either. So there was that part of the story that was missing, and then you got Vegeta going Super Saiyan. They diminished Vegeta going Super Saiyan because again, one thing we missed in the cutscene that you could have had was Vegeta's explanation for why he went Super Saiyan and the dialogue about how he became a Super Saiyan. The other's reaction to him being a Super Saiyan. Then what else could I say? The Cell Saga, the Android sagas and the Cell Saga had a lot of the dialogues, and they did sneak in some good dialogue. They, like I said with the Majin Buu, they did sneak in the dialogue where he said, you might have invaded my mind and my body, but it's always one thing a Saiyan keeps is his pride. They did have that line from the Dragon Ball Z, because in Dragon Ball Z Kai, he doesn't say that line in particular. He says like a different version of it, but that line at that moment he did say, You might have invaded my mind and my body, but it's one thing the saying always keep is his pride. They greatly diminished in the Majin Buu saga. The Majin Buu saga was by far the worst because they diminished what made it good. I understand you can't have seeing Symbol in there screaming, trying to become Super Saiyan 3, but don't downplay the fact that the importance of Super Saiyan 3. Don't downplay, Majin Buu. They kind of downplay Majin Buu's transformations. They really didn't. Everything felt rushed. Everything felt like disjointed. The game, I could see the cracks in the game. There was some bugs and glitches in the game. I'm trying to think. Overall, you could see that it was made by a different developer. CyberConnect 2 did a okay to decent job with the game, but it was just so much things, the bad choice. And I understand I can't really hold y'all against because Bruce Falcon, who made the original music for the original show back when I was a kid, they have, a court battle is stuff that they can't do. But I just don't, I never really liked the Kai music or the Japanese music. Even when I got a DVD of Dragon Ball Z. I never put it on I've always put it on on the U.S. music, which is the Bruce Falcon music. I always put it on that because I don't like any other music about that because it draws the attention away from the uniqueness of what made me love that show so much. And the use of different dialogue and the lame dialogues and stuff, and not having the hope of the universe when Goku turned Super Saiyan. Though I'm glad they never downplayed Goku becoming the Super Saiyan, but they downplayed the stuff before it and a little bit after it. It made the battle with Frieza was so rushed. 'Cause it was so much more that you did with Frieza. It really didn't. It hurt it more than I like. But overall, to end the video, if I have to when I give this game, I give this game a 6 big ups because it wasn't bad, it wasn't great. It was just, to me, it was more. It was like. It was okay. It was good. It was good for what it is. It's good for a playthrough. I never felt the need to upgrade because the negatives for me is that the lack of classic dialogues, the music, just the the effort into the upgrading wasn't there. Like you could tell they didn't put no effort into the upgrade system, into the RPG elements of it. It was just at that point, by the time I got to the end, it was like, what was the point of the upgrade system? Because even if you tried to upgrade, it didn't help because they was always going to make your opponent way more stronger than you. And as you saw in the end, no matter what the upgrade, Kid Buu or anybody of the bosses was just going to be way more powerful. And you by the time the end, I still haven't even closed the gap on the boss character. So it was just like, upgrade stuff was unnecessary. It was a good attempt, but they need to try better. The things I did like I said, I did enjoy playing through the sagas. I did enjoy the little things like the little things I could do with the upgrade system. The buying the new moves, and then like how they skipped they skipped the Trunks battle. That was another thing I forgot. They skipped the Trunks battle. The one bit negative for the Cell saga was that they skipped the battle with Trunks and Cell, where Trunks you went Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan, Super Trunks, then Super Saiyan, Ultra Trunks. Like they skipped all that. You don't even have the option to use those transformations. So it was just like the good things about the major good things about every saga was kind of gutted. And they only kept pieces of it in there, and that just was a negative to me. But hey, that's my opinion. That's how I felt after just playing the base game. Does that mean I won't go back and play it? Probably not. Like, at least the main game. Like, would I go back and play the DLC? Yes. But would I go back just to do the side missions for the main game? No. That's why I gave it a 6, because the replayability is just not there for me. For me, one playthrough is enough for the main game. Now, when I do go back and replay the DLC, yes, I will do that. But again, I probably only play that one time. And I heard that it's supposed to be a new DLC for this year. But if you like this game, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts about the game. Do you feel the same way as I do? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, that's my review of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. To the next video, peace.